Good Thursday, everybody. What's going on? Got some fun stuff to work on today. I've got this old, well, it's not old, but getting older Ford truck. I believe it's a 95 F350. Got the really just tried and true 7.3. And what I found on a few things was, he said it's turning over, so he thought the starter was bad. Turns out I had battery cable issue. One battery just wasn't making connection with, and so it was pretty much cranking off the one battery. That helped a lot. Now he said an oil leak probably, but I think there's a leak. I'm going to have to pull some of the covers off to get to the injection pump and see what's leaking on it. Possibly one of the soft return lines, because it looks like, let's use that as my backdrop, guys. It looks like that. There's a fuel leak. I see a fuel leak. So talk about a few things that's going on and some double ways that people would. So in Los Angeles, the sheriff, let me get my paper here because I wrote this down. I got tired of being stuffed in that room. It's good for doing my podcast, but I like doing my videos out here. It's a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. The LA sheriff is looking at some pretty crazy things that are happening in Los Angeles. What they're trying to do is circumvent the public. Say, for instance, if there's an elected official, to get that person out, then you have to have a recall election. And I know that we had one in California to get Newsom out, but it didn't work because there were some things that went down. Larry Elder should have got that. I agree. If anybody remembers that. The news moves so fast, it's hard to keep up. But Larry Elder should have won that recall. But there's still a double-edged sword if you get rid of that process. So in Los Angeles, officials there are trying to pass an amendment in a bill to where they can circumvent a recall effort to actual get 4/5 of the vote. Sorry, I had to write this down. And it, in other words, like, say for instance, if the people that have a certain agenda that needs to take place. I'm just going to give you both sides of it. Say for instance, if there is problems in the recall event, I was going to use that word, because of the fact that there might be some nefarious things going on, then yes, that would be beneficial if you had up and up city officials. But if you've got city officials that want to push an agenda, and you have that recall event, and you overwhelm the system where they can't backfill with certain things to make things go their way, then they can go in front of you and still remove that sheriff and put somebody in there who will. Because I'll give you an example. The sheriff's name is Villanueva, and I wrote it down because it's hard for me to remember all that stuff. So he is one of the ones that does not he does not have this right here. He's not forcing his people that work for him to get this right here, and they want to do away with that because they want somebody that they can be told what to do. So they're trying to get rid of him to put somebody in there, and they've already stripped him of powers that he should have, which is his hiring process. And there was another thing too, can't keep up with all of it, but they stripped him of several key duties that he had that was in his care, because I think that he was making better decisions. I seen in LA where there were actual people getting arrested there still. At some point, it wasn't quite as bad as other counties in California where, the district attorneys are letting everybody go. I mean, they may be letting them go, but this guy was arresting people and putting charges on people, and they didn't like that. That's not what they want. It's not for their narrative. And so, like, to tie that together, you got the one with all the sores. George that has the sores. That dude, that Hungarian guy, that if you're here, you probably know who I'm talking about. If you're here, you know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I had a call come in and I had to just hit the decline. But anyways, to wrap this up real quick, he is still pumping in tons and tons and tons of money into the system because the American people say they want criminal reform. And if you actually take the polls and you see what's going on out there, the American people want criminal justice. And if you have criminal reform, then you amplify the criminal's behavior because nobody's getting arrested. The buddies say, man, I went and done all this right here. Take for instance this business right here. If I'm in an area where that's not a thing, where it's criminal reform, they go in here and rob me blind, and it wouldn't do any good at all. And if I called the police, then it would just bring more attention on to me, and I'd be a supremacist of pizzas. And so, dude, we want criminal justice. I've been on both sides of this, and I'm gonna tell you what, we need criminal justice reforms. Been to prison and stuff, not for nothing too bad, but just enough. Just enough. I had a history of drinking and driving and things like that. I like to party, like cars, and I like to go fast. Put all those together. Anyhow, I hear people coming in, and I just want to just get this, little bit of stuff I'm talking about out, because think about whenever you see instances where it looks like they're passing a bill that's like, yay, this is good because then we can circumvent all the nefarious things. But if you've got nefarious things from the get-go, watch out how these Democrats word things. Watch out how they say things. Remember, For the People Act was to strip all of our rights and make federalize the processes of things where you choose your leaders. Think about that. Build back better? Send all our money away? Print a bunch of money? You see where that got us? Ain't even got Build Back Better going yet. Imagine if that would have happened. Anyhow, I want you guys to have a wonderful Thursday, and I want you guys to just keep your nose to the grindstone. Know that we're going to pull through this. America's very strong. We are the majority. We just don't have the big microphone like they got. But with our blockchain media, yeah. And check this out. I've loaded up a video on Rumble, and it's got stuff to do with our Arizona and anomalies that happened there. And if you want to switch, you don't have to subscribe, but you can just click the link and watch the video. And we just need to keep that thing rolling. We need to let the left know we ain't forgot about what they did, and we are not going to let them do that again, or at least as easily as they thought. So thank you so much again. Lots of love. God helps people who helps themselves. And I really, really appreciate all of where I'm at right now because of all the people who've helped me. Sweet Home Arizona, Sweet Home Maricopa, Michael, he's a good dude. This is a good group of people. Matt in Exile, all these great guys. Shannon at the Voted Patriots too. We're all a team out here, guys, and this is what the left is afraid of, that we united blockchain media style, y'all. All right, thank you again. Lots of love. I'm out.